Amazing to you. Hey, Rhonda from Ohio. Good to see you. Timothy, welcome. Patrick, welcome. And Blaine, good to see you. Good morning. Yes, it's a grand day, Monday morning. Sunshine is out, ready for an interesting week. I'm preparing my war wagons for a journey next month. But I like to keep things. I want to stay ahead of the game. I don't want to be disorganized at the last minute. Good morning. Yes, welcome, South Carolina. Good to see you. How you doing, Elaine? Good to see you. What news? News is all over the place. What do you want to start with? Ask me a question. We'll start with that. Greetings from Onaway. How you doing, Cheryl? Yep. I got a buddy up there. He's up in Rimbey right now, and I spent some I spent some time up in Westlock, Onaway stuff area up there. It's nice country. Reverse carry trade happening. I'm not sure. Fill us in on that one. Explain a little bit. How you doing, New York? Upstate New York. Welcome. You're in the house. Santa Duff, how are you? Good morning to you from Manchester, Georgia. Happy to catch your lives. Thank you very much. Thanks for the support. And it's always welcome and gratifying to see new names, new faces. Yep. Welcome, Ireland. I tell you, I got a lot to, we all have a lot to be proud of about the Irish. I tell you, they're not one to, they get to a certain point and, all hell breaks loose. And I just wish, I don't know, displacement or disorientated, brainwashed, on a zombie-like state. It's pathetic. I have a lot of friends in Canada. You know who you are. And we are there, but we're few and far between. But the Irish are rising up collectively, and they're saying no more of this migrant taking control of the welfare system and blatantly stealing things from people. They can't even tie stuff down. I mean, they are a different culture. They are just a different culture, and they need to get their ass kicked back to the country. I mean, this is the globalistas' grand idea about trying to, because all the native Irish absolutely hate the political system there. So they think that they can bring in a bunch of no-brain, and I don't want to go down that road, but they don't have any education, and they just come in and wreak havoc and expect everything to be free. They want free rent, free food, free money, big ass cell phones. As they walk around in their Adidas sweatpants and $150, $200 Nike shoes. That it's just absolutely beyond stupidity. And all it does is show how retarded these politicians are. And this, again, is for entertainment purposes only. And I advise and recommend everybody go out there and do their own research. 15 degrees over there? Yeah. Well, it's going to get hot. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, Sagittarius. Greetings to you. Light and love. Welcome. Thank you, sister, brother. Good morning from Michigan. Welcome. You're in the house. It was great. She's a man. I know. It was just, putting more hot daggers in the, liberals' ass. That's all it's doing. They are crawling out of their skin right now. That misfit Harry is losing his mind, whatever mind he had to begin with. It's such a treat to watch the meltdown. Yeah. How's it going, Matt? Good morning to you. I can't see your name. Surprised to see Zach Brown singing the national anthem. Yeah, I liked him, but thought he was left. Well, if he showed up to the UFC 250th anniversary, there's not much left about him. Right? He's dirty right. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of lefties and lefty crazies that are coming to their senses. And I just want to say, I mean, I put out a video yesterday, stating this is all about symbolism. Okay. The cabal, their symbolism and their owls and all this, ley lines and statues and the goth type, symbolisms around the world is all coming down, and it's being replaced by our Lord Jesus Christ. This world, this planet will be, open the doors for God and Jesus Christ. That's what's coming. And that's what Trump is doing. Anybody that's against that, you're on the dark side. And, there is no place for you here. I just want to say, why did Trump put a beehive over in the north garden? Why? Because he's the beekeeper. He's sending the message out to the cabal. Okay, whatever's left. And these are unelected banksters around the world that are hiding under their desks right now, and they're sending whatever money out there, sending money to their minions to stir up as much havoc and chaos as possible. A lot of them are on social media, doing stupid shit. I mean, you could just, as soon as you see them, you know that they're throwing out negative. Case in point is this Mitch guy. He's throwing stuff out there. He's a little Debbie Downer, and I shouldn't say Debbie. He's just a downer. Okay, Mitch is a moron, and that's all I can say about him, because he swings one way, swings the other way, and he reminds me of a saloon door. That's what he does. He doesn't have his ideology set in a pattern. And, this is why I think it is a good rule. I don't think there should be, and this is just my call. There was one thing that come out there that, one of these leftist politicians did state, and, there should be a ban, or at least, parental guidance, for children up to 16 to 17 years old, maybe even 18, that shouldn't be on the internet, because they're abusing it. And a lot of them, that's where these predators come from. And a lot of this stuff, and a lot of these kids get going because they don't know the ramifications, they don't know the results, what can happen by making stupid decisions. And I think they need to have parental guidance. Case in point, again, some adults out there need to be off the internet because they don't deserve to have a platform. There's nothing that's being positive sent out by them. It's all chaos and disruption. And, I think when this new Starlink does come into place, I think there's going to be a lot of, if you're pulling off bad shit, your internet connection is going to be taken down. We got no room for it. South Carolina, happy Monday to you too. Santa Duff. Yeah, I know. The, the UFC was put on to send a message and to ask for the consent of the American people. Every time they cheered and enjoyed what they were watching and clapped and having a great time, it showed not just a celebration, but it showed that we consent to having this, uh, uh, Coliseum type competition, men wanting to do, as gladiators, go in there and do their thing. Okay. And they have great referees in there that will stop as soon as they see one guy going down. They will jump in before anybody really gets hurt. Okay. So they want to go beat themselves up and get some black eyes and some bruises and broken noses and stuff like that. That's their choice. That's free will. Okay. And they get paid a lot of money. So I guess that's the attraction. But I mean, what would you like to have? A bunch of naked rainbow middle-aged guys walking around in the buff, waving rainbow, This is exactly what Obama had. He had rainbow colors all over the White House. I mean, talk about a mental illness. Trump's got there. I mean, the White House was white. Okay. Then it was gold, right? This is the golden years that's coming. And he's letting everybody know that the celebration is just beginning. Not just because it was his birthday, right? But he's putting these things in the yard for the people, okay? It's not for him. He's sending a message that just like how we have to deal with all the symbolism for centuries and centuries, all these demonic symbolisms that we had to put up with, and this indoctrination in schools, university, colleges, for our children. They were trying to change our whole mindset. It's absolutely disgusting. And our first move and a positive move was to first recognize the demonic agendas that they had laid out for us. I mean, putting a guy and another guy in the White House as man and woman. I mean, how much perverted can you be? Not to mention, Trump had to go into the White House and completely gut the whole thing because of all the, secret devices that Obama left behind. And he had to scour that whole building, every inch of it, inside the walls, everything, because of what they were trying to lay in for, secret surveillance and illegal surveillance on our president. And, their attacks on him goes back to 2016. And those attacks were not on him, just on him. They were on the whole American people. That's what's happening. Yes, everything is symbolism to them. So we're sending all the signals back to them. Good morning, Lena. How's it going? Yeah. They're taking all these rainbow sidewalks, everything, they're being taken out. In certain areas, they're coming down. All the statues that were torn down by the crazy lefts when they were doing all those riots some years ago. They were taking down statues in these blue cities and everything else. They're going back up soon. The bells are finally that got torn down in those, hundreds of years of from the Tartarian times up till now. There was no bells out there anymore. Bells absolutely are, kryptonite to the evil ones. Trump wanted to show he can celebrate with absolute no chaos. Thank you very much. That's a great statement. Yeah, I mean, look what's happening in France there, or even New York. What's going on there with the New York Knicks? They were burning buses and burning everything else. That's the crazy lefts. And, you don't think that their surveillance and the Space Force is around the corner, filming everything and taking documentation? Those idiots that were doing all that are being picked up today. They're serving time. And this is, I just want to say, I want to get it out there. If everybody can remember, the day that Trump got in, he handed the power, over to the military. This is a military operation, okay? They have final say, and they are collecting all the documentation that they need for indictments. Yes, I know. By destroying property, because they are not mentally fit. That's why. How you doing from Atlanta, Georgia? Yeah, Georgia's going to get cleaned up too. There's a lot of Democrats there that just don't seem to get it. They go after the money rather than their moral values. How you doing, Iowa? And I'm not just saying Georgia. There's a lot of great people. I love Georgia. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, they have, you've got a bunch of misfits taking control of your, of the capital. How you doing, Ontario? Southwest Louisiana. Welcome. What do you think about what do you think about the Scots in Boston at the World Cup? I'm not following it. Sorry, bud. I'm just not following because it's a lot of it's could be programming. I'm not sure. I don't have cable TV, anyways. The things that I'm attracted to right now is getting my focus is getting God and Jesus Christ back on every country. That's what my focus is. And then, of course, the money. Once that comes into play, then you're going to see all God's money reunite with the true value of what they should be. There is a guy out there, Worsley, Brian Worsley, I think his name is. He's a Canadian. Really good guy. He was military, but and he's kind of been country hopping because he's being attacked because he's right over the target. I think it's Brian Worsley. Anyways, he comes on with Jaco and Scott McKay once in a while. Don't worry, I've been blocking the scammers. Thank you very much, Warrior. Yep, you're a true patriot, you are. Please, all comments in capital letters. Thank you, Sagittarius. Appreciate it. You're from Georgia since Obama isn't so corrupt. What? Well, whatever. I mean, everybody's got their opinion, and everybody's free for their own opinion. I mean, I'm able to talk and have my platform, and that's cool. Yep. Welcome, Mama. Yeah. How you doing, Glennis? And Michelle. Teresa. Ian, how you doing all? Benedict. And there's her. Rehab. Mary, how you doing all? 615 smoking. How you doing, Earth? Yeah. Yeah, I guess, what's his name? Phil Godlowski was in New York, and I don't know what the deal was going on there. He got kicked out of his hotel with the kids and everything else in the middle of the night. He was on the street. They had nowhere to go. I don't know what was going on there. Maybe because he's a podcaster. I don't know. New York, eh? A lot of, when you're in New York, you're not in the United States anymore. You're not in the Republic for some reason. Yeah. Many people was expecting the EBS last night. Well, yeah, there has to be a lot going on. I think we have to go further. The EBS won't be triggered until the events start unfolding. I still think there has to be more chaos. The left is, and they're starting to do their job. I mean, the left is really getting squirrely. They're getting seriously squirrely, and you'll see it all over. They're babbling, they're foaming at the mouth. They're talking and spitting all over their phone. I mean, it's getting comical. And I think everybody has to understand something, and because I always have to go back, and things that has happened, in the past. And we have to look and remember that for 4 years, China Joe and his entourage had opened those southern borders and the northern borders and allowed all these sleeper cells into the country. Have they caught them all? I don't know. Is ICE doing a great job? Yes, they are. But you got maybe 10 million that had come in. 10 million that are, laying low right now. They're all walking around with hoodies on and earphones, communicating with each other. They are coordinated. And I think there's going to be an uprising. And Trump has said it himself, based on the intel that he's getting from his, from Space Force or the NSA, that, America is under siege. But they're not going to let the show must go on. And there is going to be love and light and celebration and everything. But in the meantime, there's still going to be takedown. We have millions and millions still to arrest for what they have done, not just against their country, but against humanity. Good morning from Missouri. Welcome. Yes, we have been brought back to common law. That was already celebrated. This thing that's going on with the White House is a symbol of freedom that we've taken back from the cabal. The District of Columbia is now the United States Republic, okay? And the military, and the reason why they held it at the White House is because the military, which was at least 60 to 70%, was allowed in there. And so the security was over the top. And that's why they're doing the thing with the ballroom, because for all the dignitaries and important people that want to come in to do their conventions and everything else, the White House will be a very secure arena for important stuff that needs to be done. And the leftist globalistas will not be allowed. They're not going to be allowed. That's why there's no communication between Trump and Carney of Canada. Carney's basically sending Canadians down a very dark path, by shipping our Canadian money, taxpayer money, over to Ukraine and supplying them with all types of weapons to kill Russian Orthodox Christians. These are NAZIs. I've been saying that since this war started. And people are looking at me like I had a third eye, which I do. But that's all being said. I was, and I've always maintained that. I knew that Putin and Trump were working for the, for God, for the better of for the betterment of humanity. And I knew that it's just based on history. It's based on remembering history and being a little bit of a bookworm and understanding why the things the way they were. This is a worldwide clean out. That's what it is. So yes, we are celebrating common law, to answer your question. It's in place. It's just that all the black robe, dummies and their bar people that are out there, and all their the ones with the badges that are vaxxed up, following orders, that they're all enemies of the people, every one of them. Yep. Well, foreign currency is going to be, buy it. Just buy it. It's all going to be corrected very, very soon, and I expect it to happen this year. So if you can go out there and buy Vietnamese dong or whatever type of currency, go ahead and buy it. I just bought another 120,000 yen. Yeah, not just because I go through Japan. I like going through Japan, and maybe hit the market and see what their metal is exchange. Because what is on paper and what you see on the screen as far as the pricing go. Like right now, I know it's at silver's just moved up Monday morning here. It started gaining yesterday because that was when the exchange metals over in Shanghai opened up, and it's moved up about $2 to $3. I think $2.50 already. So it's at 71.29 US, which is about, you can sell it back on the street for about $115 back on the street, $115, $120, and it's moving up. As you see that, you're going to see oil price come down, because now that there's going to be no, people are, all the pessimists out there are saying about the oil and everything, going through the Strait of Hormuz, always had those very, very heavy tolls on it, right? Very heavy, $1 million a tanker. So that was a toll. You had to pay $1 million to get their tanker through there. Okay, so you can imagine how much they had to jerk that price up on the oil for every tanker that went through. All that is free, and it's being guarded by the U.S. Navy, okay, and Air Force. So, and Iran signed the deal. So whatever deal they signed, whatever leadership that was left that didn't get its head blown off, that they signed the agreement with Trump, and Trump's going to hold them to it. He's not a politician. He's not even a disruptor. He's a disruptor to the cabal, but he's not a disruptor. He is bringing liberty back to humanity around the world. Everything that he's doing, the beacon of light is the United States of the Republic, and the beacon of light has now been turned on as of yesterday. And that celebration yesterday, not just his birthday, but that was a huge statement sent to the cabal that the lighthouse, the lights and the flag is flying high, and that is the beacon of light. We have won that battle. We have made the United States Republic again. We've got it back. The gold-backed currency is coming next, and once they get full control, and I'm talking 110% control of what's going on inside the United States, and the Americans are going to feel this first. They're going to feel the effect of what Trump is doing very, very soon, and from there they're going to move out and move into this, start taking care of each country, and start basically going from country to country to drain the swamp or clean out the filth. There won't be any, and I can see this coming. Yes, it may take some time. How you doing, Cheryl? Dana White with Epstein prints on his wall. I'm not sure what that's all about. Like I say, let's not stop. Let's not play into the drama, because 90% of it is out there that's being exposed. They want you to be exposed to it. They want you to know what's going on out there. So we have to kind of step back and watch how this plays out. Like I said, be very thankful and happy that Jesus Christ is back in the White House, and Jesus Christ is back in the hearts. You can see after the wins and the fights that were, and they were, Joe Rogan was announcing, and he was interviewing the winners and stuff like that. Jesus Christ came up many, many times, our Lord and Savior. That's the message that he was sending out to the world, that, Jesus Christ and our Lord and Savior was back in the White House. Okay. How much do you think the Vietnamese dong will settle for? Well, if you go to the redemption center, I think it's 10. It could be 10-1, 10, 11-1. It could be the Iraqi dinar could be up to 16-1. They have to, because both those countries were devastated by the deep state. Yep. And back in the day when I was 18 years old, 1973. Going there, I thought we were, they put it out there, like Nixon put it out there saying, well, this is what it is. We're fighting communism, I mean, it's like, and I remember that. I mean, it's like, what the hell? Okay, let's go, we're going to fight communism, but it wasn't that. It was basically go in there to try and steal their, because their economy, the Vietnamese were very, very strong. They were economic powerhouses, and that scared the deep state back then. And it scared France, because France was going to these countries, all these countries out there back in the day, and trying to take control of their rare mineral assets, such as places in Africa, Ghana, Congo, other places.
Ein einziges Mal in den unendlichen Weiten der Zeit geschehen ist. Vor dir hat niemand mit deinen Augen den Sonnenaufgang betrachtet.
Und wofür steht sie an?
I mean, that war went on, and the North Viet Cong and whatever. I mean, Vietnam won that war. They won it. No matter what, Kennedy tried to stop it. And that was one of the reasons why he was killed for it. And Johnson was a, very, very corrupt globalist. So the whole country was torn down to bits, like Iraq was, and they're going to get repayment. And the people, their ancestors that had, suffered through those wars, the bloodlines are going to, and their families are going to reap the benefits from that. And that's why they're waiting for Iraq to tear the shackles off of the controlling Iranian dictatorship, because they had control of what was going on in Iraq, even after the war and everything else. It's an absolute quagmire. But that's what Trump is trying to go in there. He's trying to break it up and break down the influence and the terrorist activities that the Iranian Persians were putting to all the other countries, the neighboring countries. Yeah, and that's just, they need to get in line with the rest of the world. Otherwise, if there's no peace, there's no Nasera, there's no Jassera, there's, nothing's out there. Every country, including Iran, has to sign on to a peace accord. That's why they have the Board of Peace. Yes, Iranian money, the rial will get the RV as well. Yep. They're going to be, whatever it's going to be. If you can buy it, buy it. I like the Vietnamese dong because it's, Canadian, it's 19,000-1. I mean, how can you miss on that? $100, you got 1.8 million. And if that goes 10-1, that's 18 million. Right? For what, $100? $100 investment? It's a pretty easy investment. And, go to your bank to order it. How you doing, Joe? DBO, how you doing? Hey, John. Time for truth. Yes, it is. Yep. How you doing? Yep. Yep. Big Daddy's on. Go after him, warrior. He's he's undesirable. How you doing, Raging Cajun? EMC. Ashley, how are you? Hey, Roxy. And Dino, how you doing? Mikey. Quinn Fox and George. Yeah. How you doing, Dwayne? Yes, the Patriot Powwow is in session. We're only been in it for half an hour here now. Yeah. Any questions? Put them in capital letters for me. Alex, do you think the EBS will affect by World Cup? I'm not sure. I believe that all these events are going to come down this year. That's all I can say. But carry on with your life. Have your food and storage and water packed away. And if this does go off, I believe it's going to go off in different areas. Would you suggest foreign over silver? I would. Well, at this point, depending on how much money you got, but I would buy both. I would buy some silver, and I would also get into Vietnamese dong or Indonesian rupiah or the Colombian peso. I mean, I'm into Japanese yen. I believe that's going to kick off. There's going to be, everything, and Trump has said this a dozen times. He says, in order for us to do even fair trade around the world, everybody's money has to be on an even playing field, including the U.S. Treasury note. Okay, and I believe that gold. I don't attract myself to gold because gold can be replicated. I've been burned so many times on gold. I finally woke up and said, no, not enough of that. And I thought I was pretty savvy. And but silver is I've never had one problem with silver. Never. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you for the support. How you doing, Hank and Ray? How you doing, Derry? And Sheila? Yep. Yep. How you doing, Mo? And Maui? Anna, how are you? Lots of new faces, lots of new names. Gabriel, how are you? Christy, good to see you. Gigia? Hey, Juicy. Mustard, Tig, and Stace. How's everybody doing? Yep. Just carry on with your world. Be at peace with yourself. Get good with God and talk to him. Yeah. Ask and you shall receive. How you doing, Tricia? Yes, I mean I think it's going to be an exciting summer. As painful as all this looks, I think we're over the worst part of it. I mean, we're not in lockdowns anymore. We're not we don't see these controlling mechanisms on every level, whether it be federal, provincial, or regional. These government bodies trying to take control and pushing their weight around, bothering and hurting tax-paying citizens. And speaking of taxpayer, stop paying your taxes. I spoke again in England in my dream last night. Good for you. Oh, you spoke again in English in your dreams. Okay. Excellent. Yes. My family, I guess I'm 3 generations Canadian. So it'd be we're originally from Frankfurt. Yeah. Hey, Tuki. No, I've never been to Germany, no. I'm sorry. Stupid me. Yes, I was. I just flew there. We went from Calgary up to Edmonton. I just about missed the plane because I had to go with my daughter over to Istanbul. So we did land in Germany, and we stayed around there. I think we had to stay there like 9 hours to get for the new flight. Yeah. And then we went into Istanbul, which is an amazing country. It's amazing, amazing city. Thank you, Alex. Listen to you every day. Thank you very much. Helen from Western Australia. Good to have you on board. They are preparing me for a future home in the U.S. Oh, really? Are you sure? Well, if I had a choice of places to go in the United States, I love Montana. I just love Montana. I love Idaho. It gets good people there, right? And people make the state. But my heart's in the Philippines. Has been since 1993. Yeah, I'm really upset with Canadian. Uh, I'm just really upset with the Canadian system. I love this country. I love everything about it. And I suppose if I, moved out into the bush, completely off grid, I wouldn't, see her, um, but I've done years and years of that anyways already. For my old bones, I need somewhere warm constantly. I don't like winters. I don't do snow very well anymore. I drove too many years in the snow, going from the East Kootenays over the mountains, over the Rocky Mountains through Banff, whether it be the lower side or the lower half or the upper half, going through the parks through Banff into Calgary, 24/7, 12 months out of the year. And I did years and years of it. And I'm just, that's enough for me. Will Canada be part of the U.S.? Absolutely. It already is. There's all kinds of comms or little indications out there that it's already done. And I think that whole thing was put to bed. There was an original map. It goes back to 1942, which included Greenland, Canada, United States, and Mexico, and whatever else. And of course, these crazy lefts, these lefties, do not see the importance of bringing. They think that Trump is a warmongering, narcissistic that wants to gobble up all the land in the world. They just take it to another stupid level. They do not see the importance. They'll never attack China for trying to take land in Mongolia, or trying to take land in Taiwan, or trying to take land in the days. I mean, moving north and stuff like that, or going into Africa, trying to take land there and all the natural resources by buying out their natural resources in the Congo or in Africa, and giving it to all the buying the land from off the local farmers there, so they can start trenching down and going after their gold, silver, diamonds, whatever they've been doing. They've been doing this shit forever, and Panama Canal was going to be taken over. Trump stopped all that bullshit, and now they're attacking Trump. I mean, come on, give your head a shake. They seem to want. They do not want anything good to come to the United States. And if the United States falls, the world falls. And we all know that. And I'm glad we got over that. That celebration last night was extremely important to send the message out that we won. Take that and put that in your bag of tricks. That's where this thing is going. And then from there, that beacon of light, which is called the United States Republic, is going to shine brighter and brighter and brighter. Okay? Because now they have allowed, with the consent by all the people last night, that were allowing, and it goes back to May 14th or 15th when they did the ceremony and the session, bringing Jesus Christ back in. They're going to do a statue of Jesus Christ, and lots of good things are going to come out of that. They're bringing Christianity back into the United States, and we're winning. And all these demonic little minions and demons out there, you better get on your little brooms and fire those brooms up and take off, because it's not going to be pleasant for you around here. God bless. Yes, God bless America. And because America's the one, with the administration and people like Rubio and Hegseth and all the other patriots that are behind the scenes are not going to just liberate the United States. They're going to liberate every country on the planet. So look forward to it. It's not going to take long to bring down these, they already know who they are. So they just have to go in there and do it. But, Trump has to do this by the law of the land. This is common law that is being worked upon. And you're not going to break the law until you start hurting people. That's how this goes. You start hurting people, you're allowed to do just about anything you want to do as a free sovereign. But you start hurting people, that's when you break the law. And that was when the military will come in and take care of your sorry ass. Yes, come to Greece. I would love to. I hear the food there is absolutely to die for. I'd love to have some of those beautiful organic dishes that you have there. Yeah, I'm a bit of a foodie. But I it's not like I'm not a glutton. I'm just a foodie. I just enjoy really nice flavors. Yeah. That's why I'm in the Philippines. We get, yeah. I do all the cooking there because I watch and I learn. So I enjoy cooking. And when I get there, I have to, I'm actually rebuilding my kitchen. So I have a big open area with the burner thing and the cooks thing right in the center. And then all my things are going to be there. It's going to be much safer and much easier to work with because, you can have electric there, but power is getting so expensive in the Philippines. And I think that's all going to come to an end too. That's what's keeping everybody very, very poor is the power. And Meralco are demons. They are cabal through and through, and they are a syndicate that needs to be brought down. I can say that right now. People, foreigners will come in there and say, yeah, you're not allowed to own any land. That's true. But foreigners are allowed to own a condo. Okay. And you can have a condo if you want to come in there and, whatever, and own a condo. You're allowed to own a condo as a foreigner. But the problem is with these condos, you got the lighting thing going on or whatever. And of course you have your power bill inside that condo or whatever it may be, or apartment or high rise, whatever it is. They're paying up to 12,000 pesos a month, which it might not seem like a lot, but that's like $150 Canadian every month. I know that Canada's a lot more. It's like 2-3 times as much, especially in the wintertime. But for the Filipino, that's backbreaking. So, we use propane, I guess, for our cooking and stuff like that instead of electric. But they got normal fridges and everything else. Everything's on 220. Welcome, Quebec. How are you? Younger, we used to have 4 seasons, and now we only have 2, winter and summer. No kidding, eh? Isn't that the truth? I think all that's going to change. I really do. Yeah. Yeah, same as in Germany. All the weather manipulation, it should be tropical everywhere. Yes, it should be. Thank you, Warrior. And it will be. Everything's going to go back. You're going to see all the deserts that were basically terraformed by the DS, by the cabal. The Chinese are going back in there because, they have huge portions of the Gobi Desert is huge inside China, and they're actually coming in with all their green solutions and eating away at it, so it becomes very green again. And once they get the trees and everything planted, of course, it's going to habitation, and people are going to be able to start living and growing and planting. And I think, you know what, I've been to China, and China's absolutely quite, it's very, very beautiful there. They've got everything so manicured there. I mean, you can go up into the central Chinese, and the people are, it's like walking into a different world, right? They just have different, different, ideologies as far as their ways of doing things. And I don't condemn it. I think it's very, very cool, but it's something that everybody should experience. Yeah. Grand Rising to you. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm glad, I try to get on for an hour, at least an hour and a half, whatever, every morning to just keep everybody upbeat. I mean, that's, it's important that we stay positive in these negative times. I'm just trying to point out all the positive that is out there. I don't have no time for negative. There's too much negative in the world that we don't need to respond to it. No. Why do they hate him so much? Because he's a disruptor. Trump is he's changing the world, and he's bringing liberty back to humanity. He's taken the shackles off, and the armies of brain deads, leftist crazies, have all been brainwashed. And that goes for all generations, have been consumed and made their decision through the manipulation of the mockingbird media, which I can't, for life of me, still can't understand why that's not being brought down. But I guess what they needed to do was keep that mockingbird media going to I guess to find out who the weak-minded ones were and who the critical thinkers were. And I think they've got that pretty much figured out. So you're going to start seeing, I do know that the mockingbird media on all these three-letter stations are now under the control of the alliance. How you doing, Randy? Hey, Ruse. I mean, you can see the whole thing if you watch, in the past and see the history of what was going on. You'll know how the future is being changed over. We forget, what we, patriots had to go through from, coming, awakening back in 2015, and I knew something was fishy at 9/11 as a structural engineer in Japan. I said, this doesn't even make sense. And I started, on those days, we were doing either fax machines or on a hotel phones with each other, and we couldn't make hide your tails out of it. And then, of course, we watching CNN absolutely blatantly lie at us. So I knew right there, shit was going down, and something wasn't right. And that's where I first seen Trump. I heard Trump will be the last president. Yes, that's true. I think there's going to be kingdoms. They're already trying to map out stuff right now based on the original maps and the, lost sea scrolls. There is a lot of stuff that has been recovered from under the Vatican that they're basically decoding right now. You're very welcome. We have, I heard that. The legitimate king and queen handed power to the U.S. DT during their visit. You're talking about the British monarchy? Yeah, they're all gone. Anybody to do with any of that stuff is all gone. Yeah. They're bringing down the powers, the banking, British banking sector, and the power that they had over different countries for decades, if not hundreds of years. It's all coming to an end. Yeah. They're going to be dealt with. No, I'm not versed. And no, I'm not. Silver coins? No, I'm not very well. I know that silver is moving up in value, and I went 90% of my portfolio went into silver. And then I actually even more now because I sold all my gold off and replaced it with silver. No, I'm not a what do you call it? Special coins or anything like that. I'm not a collector. No, I'm there for the the syndicate value, the long term wealth that protects my assets. I got out of that paper money in 2012 after the Lehman Brothers meltdown. That was all another scam. It's just one thing after another. Yeah, Bruce called on the big call. Universe said that we'll send notifications for Canada and the United States. No mention of the other countries. Well, you're talking about the Tier 4B, the internet group. Well, yeah. Bruce has been saying this for years and years, and I'm sure it's very, very close. We're all going to know. I mean, if you want to talk about money, let's talk about money, okay? The thing is about what's happening right now, if you have any type of dollar or any type of fiat currency of any type other than foreign, like I'm talking about the dollars, okay, and the pound and the euro, those three will be corrected, if not destroyed. There's all kinds of indications right now. The bankers are saying that the dollar's going to crash, and that means when they say the dollar, that means all the dollars. That if the United States U.S. greenback goes down the toilet, so does the Canadian. Okay, and then from the Canadian it'll be the Australian and whatever other Commonwealth that is out there that has the dollar, including Hong Kong dollar. Okay, all of it is crashing. And they're going to be replacing those dollars because of all the corruption and the bags and bags of money from the syndicates and other mafia groups that are trying to hide all this. I'm sure they're pretty smart and they're going out there and buying their silver. But the thing is, everything's being tracked, and eventually, when you have such a huge revaluation of worldwide currencies, such as what we're experiencing right now, it will take time. But this is the direction that we're going into. Trump isn't going to stop. Whether it be Trump 1, Trump 2, Trump 3, 4, 5, 6. He's a brand. And the Trump brand will not stop. And like I said yesterday, and I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now, is let's watch where the puck goes. Let's not try to chase anything. Let's watch where we think it's going. Right? Yes, med beds are going to be in the hospitals, I believe. That's the only place they can put them. They got the facilities for it. I'm not sure. I'm going to put these data centers on hold. There's a lot of negative stuff coming out of it. There's, but I think there's going to be a stop to that. Whatever's going on right now, I think there's going to be a stop of it. They're throwing out as much negative out there as there is positive out there. And I'm just trying to keep everybody on the positive side of things on what's happening. This is a mixed bag of tricks that's happening right now in this world. And, we made a great, big, huge victory, no matter what the crazy left say and how deranged they are. That was a great, positive, thing that happened, celebration that happened yesterday, UFC. Sent the message around the world that, yes, we got control of the United States and we are going back to common. We already are back in common. Yes, I know the comments are the scammers to strip people being scammed. Yes, I know. And I'm just saying, I've always said this. I've said this right from 2015. Never send money unless it's going to Amazon for something that you want. What about the real Trump? No. The real Trump could be, people say that he was killed back in 87. Other people say he's in Cheyenne Mountain. Other people, and we have to wait and see. But no matter what, the show must go on, right? This is not a Trump operation. This is a military operation that's happening. And we have to recognize that. And, we have to stay in the audience and not get involved in the movie, because it'll rip you apart emotionally. This is to wake up the sleepers. Whatever you're seeing right now is to wake up the sleepers and drive the crazy lefts even crazier. How you doing, Renee? Do you feel things are happening starting June? Yes, they already started yesterday, Dawn. They already started yesterday with the celebration. And then we got 4th of July coming up. There's going to be lots of interesting stuff being taken down. Yes, I have my videos hijacked all the time. And of course, Big Daddy's going to be out there. He's going to be hijacking, putting his Big Daddy name on there. My name got hijacked a long time ago when the communist Chinese took my content over when I was in the Philippines. They basically stole my content, everything. And I had to, I was shocked first. And then, me and the family jump on the motorcycle. We go down to another city to go get another SIM card. And I come back and I took that old SIM card out and I put it in a new number. And I tried to go back into, as Big Daddy back then. And it was already taken. So I know it was controlled by the CCP. Because they have a lot of the, the monetary system or the internet. What's going on in the Philippines is all being a lot of Chinese controlled stuff there. And, they play havoc. I mean, the bad guys are the bad guys. It doesn't matter what country you're in, there's a lot of bad guys, a lot of good guys, a lot of bad guys. So, and that's what the Alliance is cleaning up. Space Force is cleaning up everything. If Trump is a brand, is he alive or an actor? Well, Trump, there's about 6 Trumps, okay? And I don't think the real Trump is out there unless he's with Melania. Then he'll come out and they'll do some very secure appearance with Melania Trump. So you're mostly seeing actors right now out there. Okay? I mean, yeah. True republic under military power, yes. The military is protecting the people, okay? They're protecting the people, and once they get the republic back, it will be in full control of what's going on inside the United States Republic. The power will be given back to the people, okay? I believe that there won't be, there might be kings and queens, I don't know, but there will be no more political powers such as Democrats, Republicans, because that's just a goddamn shit show. There won't be no more liberals or conservatives or NDPs in Canada. There won't be no more Labour parties in England. It's all a shit show. I mean, we have absolute, crackheads running the show in control because they're being inserted by these banking systems that have, loads and loads and loads of your money. Manipulating the political climate. They're the manipulators. Yeah, stay positive, everybody. Thank you, Mama. Yeah, and you know what? I'll see you guys all soon down on the coast. Yeah, I'm working on it. Yeah, you just do what you can do. Just you can listen to my content, but if they ask you to DM them, then don't DM them. But they steal my content, and that, and I don't mind the free advertising. I guess it gets the word out there on what I'm trying to get across, and stay positive on everything that's happening right now. I see every day that goes by, I see less and less negative, other than the crazy left. Losing their skin. their heads are popping everywhere. They don't even know. They try with this, it's a comedy show, and people are, the stupidity that's coming out of them is over the top. And anybody that has one brain cell, bouncing around will see that what they're saying is absolutely inverted bullshit. Yes, the true republic under the military power. It's not military power, it's military control. They're watching and protecting the Constitution. Okay? They're bringing it back, and Trump, the brand, is bringing it back and letting it drip feed to the nation to say that we are a republic again. He's also saying central casting. This is a show because it's already been handled. Case in point, Canada, Greenland, all the other countries that are around Canada, we are all part of the Americas, of the Western Kingdom. That's been done a long time ago, and the drip feeding, is out there right now to try to slowly, change the frequency of the way people think. It's and we're waking up very, very fast. It's the Schumann resonance is all lit up, right? So it's good. Well, we don't know. I mean, these are claims that Trump was killed in the helicopter crash in 1989. Until we see proof and whatever actual events, it's the same thing with the Bible. I mean, yes, you can listen to King John's Bible or all the different stories that are in it, but is it accurate? Is what did they steal out of the original scrolls, and what did they steal and then they ended up hiding it under the Vatican? I want to go back and see the original. We know that Jesus Christ walked this land. We know that he's the Son of God. That's all been, that's all factual events. But it's what was written has been probably manipulated. Now, I'm not saying all of it. I'm just saying I'm putting it on the shelf. I'm staying close to my Creator until the real true facts come out. Right? And my daughter, maybe that's why she's not talking to me right now about, with my position on what's happening. But, she's 25 years old, beautiful kid. And she's, she reads the Bible like it's, and that's fine. She's in New Cairo in Egypt, many, many Christians that are there, the Christians and Muslims live together just like they do in Turkey. Half are Christians and half are Muslims, and they all live in lockstep together, right? How you doing, Shirley? The military were the ones who created the MN. Well, are they? You're talking about, we have to start dissecting this stuff. It wasn't, you can't say military and then put all the apples in one barrel. It could have been the military industrial complex that maybe dealt with it. There's, before Trump took hold of things, there was 2 or 3 militaries, the black hats, the white hats, and the red hats. I'm just saying, everybody had their own belief, and, it's just the way it is. The 51st state common law will come back again. Yes, it will. It's already here. We just haven't got it out there. How you doing, Houston? Welcome. Yes. I've heard Melania is really the Princess Diana. I think Melania is the Queen of Russia, and she's related to Putin. I think that's all part of the family that's over there. And I think the United States and Russia are working very close together, and along with Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping is anti-communist, and he's taken down, I believe, every country's got its demons. Take a look at the United States. how many rotten apples there are there, but the guiding light of Christ conscious people are overtaking it, same as what's in Canada. But Canada's slow, very, very slow. There's a lot of schooling that the Canadians need, because they are so caught up in cable news. I've said it for years. Best thing to do for your brain is cut your cable. Do you think the negative narrative that you see in social media is the narrative of the bad guys? Yeah. Well, it's not so much the bad guy. They're the brainwashed that are trying to push their narrative. They're trying to push their agenda based on what they believe in. They're brainwashed. They don't see the pattern. A typical leftist mind is not a critical thinker. They do not have that in their vocabulary. Okay, they do not know how to read between the lines. They will take every word to fact. Okay, and that means when it goes, and so they can be lied to on social media, and they will think that is the gospel. They do not have critical thinking. That's the problem with this world today, is because there's so many people that have relied on the stupid boob tube. Okay, and the boob tube took wind of that. That was the thing that the Germans designed after the Second World War as a social program, and eventually got into an MK Ultra programming. And it's still, to this day, I cannot watch cable TV. I look to 30 seconds on that thing, I can see bullshit happening. The only thing that I enjoy are, like these, what do you call it, HBO series like Yellowstone and stuff like that. I kind of enjoy that stuff. Otherwise I'm looking at, I enjoy movies, right? There's always something in it, especially the sci-fi. But as far as the cable news and listening to CNN or anything like that, that's all should be cut. That's crimes against humanity. I heard from Ishmael that Melania is related to Putin, and you're exactly right. Yeah, he is. And I get a lot of information from Ishmael. He's plugged in. He's not just plugged into. He's plugged into the Galactic Federation. Yeah, and that's why they're bringing out the comms now, and they're trying to twist and turn and put spins on things and all kinds of stuff. We're just going to sit back and see how all this unfolds. This movie is not for us. This movie is for the sleepers they're trying to wake them up. For example, they are saying that the virus will lose after the World Cup. Oh, we'll be on the loose? Maybe what you're saying? I don't. I think it's just as phony as the 2020 scamdemic. Yeah. I mean, at first I was a little bit worried because I was over in the Philippines. And I was more worried about, if I get caught over there February 15th, they were really starting to tip things up there, and they shut everything down. Couldn't leave, couldn't go in the airports, without having this, that, and the other thing. And I said, geez, I better get my ass out of here before I get caught. And sure enough, I got back on the 15th or 20th of February, whatever the year it was. I guess it was 2020, whatever. And I ended up having to stay in Canada for 4 years without seeing my family. Pissed me right off. But I did not want to go. I mean, it's not like you could not fly. It's just that trying to get, absorb everything that was, that they were throwing out there at us, all the negative shit. I say, well, yeah, I mean, all the airports will be a bottleneck, and they'll be wanting all kinds of swabs and all this other shit going on. And the last thing I wanted was have some idiot, grind something up my nasal cavity. So I just said, you know what, because everybody's seen all the arrests going on, people getting tackled by, department store workers because they weren't wearing a mask. I mean, it was just a shit show. Yesterday, it was 60 to 70% about Jackson, M. Jackson. Michael Jackson. Do you think time for him to show up? Yes, I do. Michael Jackson's gonna, there's gonna be a lot of people come out of the, hiding and, come back into the public eye. Many might not want to do that, but I think we're starting to see the reveal and celebration of that. I think the 4th of July, the World's Fair, you're going to start seeing a lot of people. Once you start seeing people come back, then you'll know that the cabal's totally defeated. And as far as the money goes, I believe that, there will be money in supplements starting to be handed out, just to help things out. I believe gas prices are going to start coming down. And as I've been saying, stop paying your taxes. The taxes are not legal. There's all kinds of literature out there saying that they need to have jurisdiction over your property. Can they show you jurisdiction over your property? Any court? No, they can't. So why are you taxing me? Right? But I didn't want to play with any of that stuff because I seen it coming. So I sold, my 2 properties I had left out of 60, over my whole career. But I had 2 properties left when 2012 came around after the Lehman shutdown. And I just sold off everything. Said, done. I'm done with it. And I've been living, in RV since then. So it's what? It's been like, 12, 14, 15 years I've been RVing it. And when I get tired of the RV in the summertime in Canada, I pack my shit and jump on a plane and go to my home in the Philippines. That's it. That's my world right now. Do you believe Trump will stay in office past his term? I believe the EBS is going to change everything. I believe that the EBS is going to maybe even stop the midterm elections. I think when the EBS comes, there's going to be a 120-day election of whoever's going to be out there. And I think Trump might end up being financial ambassador for the world. And he'll be the figurehead of all communications galactically and on this Earth's plane. That's what I think. I think there's going to be maybe even peace councils to deal with social matters, and I don't think there's going to be any taxes. Sovereignty will be flourishing, and there will be no problem. People will always have abundance. So the people that are doing good things out there with their monies that they receive, they're going to be closely monitored. And if they're doing good things, then they will keep on receiving more money in their accounts to do what they want to do. So everything's coming, this is where you become connected. Okay? It's your compassion on what you have and what you want to do for humanity. Okay? Okay, gang, I'm going to wrap it up for today. MJ's death, Michael Jackson's death, was June 25th. I feel he is showing up before the day or after. Yes, I believe so too. I believe he's around. And he'll be coming on stage and he'll do a big, huge performance. I mean, there's going to be lots of things happening. But they have to get rid of the cabal, right? They have to get rid of the threat. How you doing, Jenny? I think the Book of Enoch is closer to the truth. Yes, I do too. Yeah, I didn't want to mention it, but I think that's what they've hidden from us. Let's get all the paperwork. Let's get all the scrolls together, and then we can go through it. And I'm sure by then we'll be able to put some earphones on and have it talk to us and have it read to us by that time. So when we're driving to work or whatever, everybody can understand the whole truth scripture about what's going on there. And everybody will be well educated. Okay. God bless everybody, and we will see you tomorrow, I hope. I'll give you